Let's cover some of the misconceptions that people have about automotive sales. Number one, people feel like you need to know a lot about cars to be able to make money, and it's not true. As a matter of fact, the best sales consultants, men and women that I see, actually speak the least about the vehicle. I know men and women who know everything about a vehicle from the front end to the rear end, but yet is unable to help somebody buy one to save their life. Because while they're talking about the torque and the turn ratio, the guest is over there just saying, man, I just wanted to know if the gas mileage better. That's all. I don't even have any clue what you're talking about. So you don't need to know a lot about cars. You just want to understand and enjoy people. Another misconception is that all automotive salespeople lie, cheat, and steal. That is not true. And you all know this. You all pass background checks. You clear drug screen. People that work in this business are good people, nice people, just like the ones that are coming in our stores. Another misconception is that it's impossible for you to make $100,000 a year selling at a dealership. That is a lie. As a matter of fact, there are men and women that barely graduated high school, some with GEDs, that have been making over $100,000 a year for the last 10, 12, 15, 20 years. There are people right now in your city and even in your dealership, probably, that are making at least $10,000 a month. And they're no different from you. You can do it too once you learn what it takes to get it done, which you're going to pick up in this webinar. Also, that you can be successful without any type of development. That's also false. To be successful in this business, there's no way you're going to make it if you do not commit yourself to training and investing your time and investing in your mind and in your development. And the way I like to put it to people is like this. Think about it for a second. Working at a dealership, your responsibility is to make people feel comfortable, find out what's going on with them, help them solve their transportation problems, and help them make a smart, safe buying decision and do business with your store. Now, in order to do that, requires skill. But how in the world can anybody that's in sales expect a customer to be willing to invest $20, $30, $40, $50,000 with you if you're unwilling to invest in yourself? Investing in the books you're reading, investing in the training, investing in your development. If you're not doing it for your sake and you have a family, do it for your family's sake. But I will tell you, there's nothing about getting rich quick in this business. There's nothing about showing up and doing nothing and making a lot of money. That will be nowhere in this webinar because that will be me misleading you, because that is untrue. It does require effort. It does require skill, and it does require development. But the good news is that this business isn't rocket science, and a lot of people have done it, which means you can too. The only thing you need is to be able to read, listen, and to follow. If you can read, listen, and follow, then you're on your road to being successful and making that $10,000 a month yourself. If the wheel ain't broke, don't try to fix it. And until you have a process of your own, always work with somebody else's. So the first thing I want to talk about is how do we close 15, 20, 25 deals a month? Now, I want to point out the first thing is you have to identify and make sure that you're dealing with the right person. And what that means is, who is your customer? Do you really know who your customer is? Meaning, who is your typical client base? Do you understand what their demographic is? And what the demographic is the psychoanalysis of the type of people that come into your store. What type of people buy your brand? What type of income bracket are they typically in that you've seen? Are they married or single? Do they have children? Do they not? Do they like to buy your vehicles for work or for daily driving? Do they use them for vacation, for camping? Where do these people hang out? What are their hobbies? What do they do? Now, you may say, well, how am I supposed to find that information out? And there's a lot of good resources to be able to do that. You can go to any different automotive news blogs and automotive sales blogs, and they give a lot of valid information. Auto News, read the comments. Matter of fact, ask different family and friends and people that you know that own a vehicle of the brand that you sell. Ask them, why do they like it? You know, what is it that motivated them to buy it? You know, what type of things do they do? What do they do for a living? What is their income bracket? Are they married? Are they single or whatnot? The biggest thing that holds people up a lot of times is that they waste time dealing with the wrong person. And when I say waste time, that doesn't mean going up to somebody and asking them, hey, do you want to buy right now? What I mean when I say wasting time means that they're out speaking with someone without having any understanding of really what's going on with this person and what makes them tick. When you can understand what's going on as far as in the lives of the people that you interact with and that you greet at your store, your road to the battle is halfway won. Because a lot of folks, when they go up and they greet a person, they do what I call the 18-minute presentation, which is they want to rush through it as quickly as they can and feel like they want to save themselves some time, without really identifying the fact that up until this point, when this customer showed up on the lot, they're a stranger. They have no idea who you are. You have no idea who they are if they're not a referral of someone that sent them into you. So people go out and they greet these people and they ask them crazy questions. They say things like, "Can I help you?" Which is a silly question because you're hired by the dealership. Your responsibility is to help every guest that shows up on the lot. So when you ask a guest, "Can I do for you what my employer hired you to do?" and they say no, you're done. Anything you do after that, now you're invading on their privacy. Also, anytime when a person walks out to a guest and they greet them with, "How you doing?" That's another mistake due to the fact that by us not knowing how they're doing and being unfamiliar with this person, anytime we ask someone, "How you doing?" it forces them to take a mental trip back through their morning, their night, and everything. And so by us being unaware of what's really going on in their life, we may have just potentially forced them to take a trip back through every negative experience. Think about it. Have you ever said, "How you doing?" to somebody and they say, "Oh, I stubbed my toe. My dog ran out this morning. I was late. I got stuck in traffic. They got a ticket on the way to work. They got into an argument. Their kid got in trouble." They go through every negative thing. And in sales, the objective is to keep a person as positive-minded as possible as we go through the process. So there's no need to rush this part. It's all about greeting people the right way. The most effective greeting that I teach sales consultants that I work with is you want to welcome a person to your dealership, because welcome is on the floor mat for a reason. You want to make people feel comfortable. Even though a person's excited about that potential purchase, they dread coming to deal with you. They go online preparing to do battle with you. Their parents have taught them how to avoid being screwed by you. So they're expecting you to come up. They're expecting you to not be concerned about what they really want. They're expecting you to come up and try to overwhelm and overload them with information and try to sell. Which is why you really want to disarm this person by only being focused on greeting them, welcoming them. "Hey, welcome to ABC dealership. My name is," and you are. Finding out what's going on with them. Are you here to see anybody else? Or is this your first time here? Asking them, "Can you write their name down when they give it to you?" All types of things that really show that you're totally focused on that customer, okay? So the first way for you to be able to close 15, 20, 25 deals, it all starts in your greeting. Who is your customer? What do you know about them? Do you greet them, welcome them to the lot, get their name, find out which product they want information on, and then bring them into the dealership to sit them down and ask them questions? Or are you walking out to people, greeting them, and then bouncing them around vehicle to vehicle? Now, if you're greeting folks and bouncing them around vehicle to vehicle, let me tell you the risk you run in that. You take a person that you just walk up to and you just greeted them to your lot. Now you start walking. So you're walking, there's a lot of cars, a lot of things going on. They're looking all around. They're looking at the vehicles. There's other people walking and whatnot. So you all may be asking a few questions, and then you get to the vehicle. And you say, "Okay, you like this one? Wait right here. Let me run and go get some keys." Now you run the risk of them walking back to their vehicle, getting in and leaving. Or if it's a hot day, they're out there standing in the hot sweating. Or if it's a cold day, they're standing out there freezing. You go get the keys, you come open up the vehicle. If it's a hot day, it's a sauna in there. If it's a cold day, it's freezing. So you never got an opportunity to set the stage and differentiate yourself from every other dealership they went to. Because most salespeople, they're inwardly focused rather than outwardly focused. So they want to speed it up and save themselves time as opposed to slowing it down and making sure that it's comfortable and they know everything about this guest. Hopefully you at your dealership, you're slowing down. You're taking the time to welcome them, get them inside so you can sit them down to find out what's going on. There's nothing worse than spending time with somebody, showing them this vehicle, spending another hour and a half or 2 hours with them just to find out that it was the wrong thing. So you want to bring a person in, sit them down, find out what their problems are, because you want to make sure you can even help them. You may not have a product that can help this person. So the only way to identify that is by greeting them, welcome into your lot, giving them your name, getting theirs. Asking them, "Can you jot it down? Can you write it down?" Finding out, are they here to see anybody? Thank them for coming. Offer them a business card early. That way, if they do have to cut out, you've got the card. When I see folks still trying this old sales tactic, which is when a customer asks them for a card, they say, "I don't have any on me, follow me inside." Then they bring them inside and they try to bombard them. That really turns people off. So giving them a card earlier in the process is so different than everybody else. Plus, in the event that they do have to go, they have a way to communicate with you in the event you didn't already get their information. So once you get them inside and you're asking them the questions, you're finding out are you looking for new or pre-owned? Is this for business or personal use? You're going through your information sheet that your dealership provides you, or whatever questionnaire that your dealership provides. Now that we have the information, it's all about presenting them with a solution. So once you get that information from the guest, what they're going to be using it for, are they looking for light, medium, or dark color? What budget range are they used to? What is it on their old vehicle they'd like to see on their new? What other additional features would they just like to have? Do they have to have? Now you go over to the management. Now you get with the management team and you're giving them the set of conditions, what they're looking for, what they're going to be using it for, what type of money they're making, what type of money they're looking to spend or invest or whatnot. Now they help you identify a specific vehicle, and you go and you check out the keys. Now, when you're presenting a solution, a vehicle solution for a guest, making sure that you have the right product where the features of this particular vehicle solves a particular problem, a specific problem of that guest. That's how you identify if you're on the right product. It's not about trying to sell them a car. It's about helping them buy. As a matter of fact, people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. So never try to sell someone a car. Always ask the right questions so that way you can help them make a smart, safe buying decision. Too many sales folks, they want to rush through. There's no communication. There's no rapport established. Everything they speak about with this guest is all about the vehicle. So if they've been to 2 or 3 different dealerships and they've dealt with the other reps and that's all they spoke about was that car, was the vehicle. They didn't ask them anything personal about them. You know what'll happen is the only way that this guest will be able to make a decision on what the best option will be, it'll be about price. And when it's all about price, you lose. It's about finding out what their problems are, where their pain is, who you're dealing with, who they are. Show them that you genuinely care about getting to know them, because people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. Once you find out, putting them on that right product. Now, once you've identified that product, bring that product out into the lane or pull it up to the front of the dealership. Make sure it has no leaves on it. It looks clean. If it's a hot day outside, crank that AC on and get it going on. If it's a cold day, crank that heat on. Get in there. Make sure you know how to work the controls so you're familiar with it. So when you're showing them everything, you're smooth. Once you have it pulled out, pop that hood, okay? Because the next step is going to be to go in there, get them, and pull them out. Remember, presentation is everything. Because once you get a person in and you find out what's going on, and you've identified the product, once you go to show it to them, this is where you really can build value. And let's face it, price is always going to be important to people. But when you're great at building value, they'll pay a little bit more for something. Why? Because they feel it's worth it. But when they get piss poor service from everyone, the only way they have to validate that they're getting a good deal is about price. And remember, at the end of the day, it's not about price. It is not about price. It's all about the people.